Hey guys, so welcome back. So it's episode 2, and today we're going to be doing some coding on the car. We're back in the garage. We got the hood open so we can access the control modules, and we're going to turn the key on into accessory mode, and we're going to look at OBD11. For those of you who don't know what OBD11 is an OBD2 tool that you can sort of connect to your phone via Bluetooth, and they sell a series of applications, and they allow you to do long coding if you have the Pro Pack, which we bought. The main thing about OBD11 is that they have a authorized by the VAG, they have an authorized SFD unlock and lock capability. So we'll kind of talk through that and show you how to get all that set up. And then at 2 p.m. today, we actually have the guys from ACM Technik. They're going to dial in to our laptop. We're going to have them on the phone. They're going to walk us through the work that they're going to do. We bought a 3-package bundle from them, and they're going to go do some work on the car. Specifically, we bought the drive mode remember capability that they have. We bought the coding package for their Harman Kardon upgrade, for their sound system upgrade, and we bought the third thing we bought was the proximity walk away for the key fob, so that if you walk away, the car will auto lock for you. And it's pretty slick how they handle those things. It's very quick. Those guys are very, very knowledgeable. So for those of you who are sort of like in an intro phase to how do I code my car and how do I make some of these changes without trying to go in and do long coding on things, this episode should be pretty useful for you. So stay tuned, and we'll get right to it. Okay, so here we are. We're inside the car, and we're going to have to enable some things in order for the ACM Technik guys to go through and do their bits. So the first thing that you're going to need is you're going to need OBD11, and you're going to need the Pro Pack. And the reason why is because literally all their changes is a bunch of long coding that they've scripted. It takes like 3 to 5 minutes for them to implement like 3 different changes in the car. You'll see that later on in the video. And so you can see we've got the OBD11 tool down the bottom there. We've got that installed. It's blinking red because we haven't connected to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up OBD11 on our phone. We're going to hit connect, and it's going to prompt me. And you can see the tool changes to a different color. It turns blue. First thing it starts doing is reading the control units. And while it's doing that, I'm just going to tell you, so when I first set up my OBD11, my car got recognized as the wrong vehicle. So for some reason, my car as a 2024, when it prompted me, I selected the most recent. There are 2 versions of 2024. I'll show you that in a second. But it prompted me for, which one I wanted, and I just selected the latest version. And when I did that, it actually identified my VIN as a Mark 8.5. And the way you'll be able to tell that is if you go here and you look at supported vehicles, you will actually see the icon is the wrong icon in your garage. If that happens to you, there is a way to get it fixed, and I did do that. So you'll see here that you've got, a 2020 through 2024 Golf, including the GolfR, and then you've got this 2024. If you happen to select this one, you are actually selecting the 8.5. It hasn't been differentiated. So if you see this icon or this icon instead of the icon that I have for my car, which is that one, then that means you've got the wrong one. And what you need to do is you'll contact OBD11 support. You'll tell them that what's in your garage is the wrong model. You'll take a picture of your VIN number. You'll take a picture of the front and back of the car, and in 2 days, they'll go in with your account information and they'll modify it. And that's really important. You probably should do something with OBD11 before you contact ACM Technik, just to make sure your tool is working. What I did was I went through and I changed the sound cater and shut off the fake engine noise, and I also set up the fast ramp up for throttle response. So those 2 were done already. But basically what we're going to do here is we're going to do what's called an SFD unlock. And there's an important piece here that you have to know about, and you can kind of follow through it, but I'll just kind of give you the cliff notes. So when you go to your profile on your account, you will see something here that says 2-step authentication. You are going to have to turn this on. Download the Google Authenticator app and put the code that you have from the Google Authenticator app into this. And what that will do is it will authenticate you, and it'll prompt you for a bunch of different information about you. I did not enter a shop because I'm an individual, but I put in my name and my general location, etc. And what that does is it tells the VAG who is actually unlocking the system, who's unlocking the module. And that's really important because without that, they will not allow you to unlock the control module. So this tool is sort of integrated with VAG, I guess you could call it, and they have permission to do those unlocks. So that's the only way that you're going to get this enabled. And when you do that, what you'll do is if you have everything set up correctly on your Mark 8, you should be able to kind of go into apps here, and you should be able to see all of the apps that you can go in and use credits for. Now, these are not long coding; these are sort of pre-baked apps. But if you wanted to go through this and see what's out there, you can see there's a whole bunch of different stuff that you can execute. So when we are getting ready to work with Anthony, what you're going to realize is he's going to need to have 2 control modules unlocked. So we're going to press this button down the bottom, and it's going to bring up these control modules. The first one that he needs to unlock is going to be the central electrics. So we're going to go in here, and we're going to scroll down to SFD protection, and then we're going to hit this unlock. I'm not going to do it yet, but because I'll do it when he's ready, but we'll hit unlock, and that gives us 90 minutes in which to code any changes to that particular control module. So there's that one, and then I think the other one he's going to need is gateway, which is this guy, number 19. And so you do the same thing. You just scroll down here, and you select SFD protection for that module, and then you hit unlock. And again, that'll give you 90 minutes for that. He's not going to need 90 minutes because, like I said, everything he's got is scripted. So it's basically like once he gets going, he's just going to execute that, and it's going to go real quick. Okay, so when you do place an order with the guys from ACM Technik, there's a couple of things that you need to know. First of all, they're going to send you a couple of cables. The cables that they're going to send you are this USB-C to RJ45 Ethernet adapter. This USB-C is going to go into your laptop, and then this is going to connect to your OBD2 port. So once you have unlocked your control modules, they're going to have you insert this and connect it to a laptop. Anthony did mention to me, Anthony from ACM did mention to me that some Macs they do have problems with. So if it's an Intel-based Mac, you might have an issue. This is a MacBook Pro 2019, so I have no problems. So when you get the email from them confirming your appointment, you're going to see this data. It's going to have a token here, and it's going to have how to go and download this tool, which is going to give them remote access called FlexiHub, and you can download it from this link. So once you download the tool, I have it here on my desktop. You just double click on it. In the Mac, you just move it over to install it. You hear it installed, and then we're just going to type in FlexiHub, and we'll double click on that. We'll open it up, and you're going to see here now when you first do this, you will have basically a login screen, and it's going to ask you to create an account. You do not create the account. What you're going to see here is you're going to see that they have the ability to kind of control a whole bunch of different stuff on your Mac. And the main thing that they're going to use is they're going to use the USB port, and they're going to do that cable. So you'll connect the cable up, and you'll connect that to your OBD2. So we'll do that now. And once that's done, as soon as they dial in, literally it's going to be like 5 minutes for them to go through and to go ahead and do their coding. So we'll do that now, and then I've got Anthony on the line, so he's going to start his thing, and then once he's done 5 minutes from now, in the interest of time, we'll kind of show you what he's done after that. All right, so for the people who are watching, that took literally about 5 minutes. So Anthony's got all this stuff scripted. So what he did was he went through and he did the Harman Kardon upgrade, and all you can really tell inside the car is you hear sort of the clicking that you hear when the control module is accessed. He did the remote leave and lock, and also the remember mode, which has the full scroll. So I think at this point we're probably going to go through. Anthony, is the goal here next to kind of test and make sure this stuff is working, or?
I'll walk you through everything and let you know the little caveats and ins and outs of things.
Okay.
So now you just have to do an ignition cycle on the car, and I'll walk you through everything.
All right, so let me just turn the car on. Give me 1 second. Anthony and I were talking while the video was off, but basically I had to take off to do the OBD11 coding. It's a good idea to remove your phone from your wireless AirPlay so you're not interfering with like Bluetooth and all that other stuff. I did run into some weird stuff with that, and so you'll see on the screen here that I had kind of gone in and just removed all the phones from the system. So when we start to test the hardened cardan, I'll probably have to repair the phone and make sure that the phone can kind of play some music. All right, so here we're going to start it up. All right, so now I'm just going to go through sort of a cycle. I'm going to change this to race. So, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And can I power the car off? I've got it set to race, so I'm assuming I can power the car off now, right? Okay. So power the car off, and now what I'm hoping to see when we power it back on is we'll check the mode, and it should be in race mode. And I put it in mode, and in fact, it is in race. And then we'll go through, we'll also kind of cycle through the R button. So now when I'm pressing the R button,
it is a pretty soft click that you need to do too. So, because I've had that where people will click it too hard and it'll just, you know, keep skipping back to race. So make sure it's a soft click.
Okay. All right, so let's do this. Let's go back to mode. I'm going to put it in custom mode. I'm going to power it off one more time. Just make sure it saves the other mode. So that is the custom mode that I want. And now I'm going to press the R button really soft. And as you can see, it is allowing me to select through the modes. With the R button, I can do full select, drift, special, etc.
Also, it works the same with the mode button on the next to the thing too, next to the hazard triangle as well. Same deal.
So I'm showing you that here on the dash. Click mode, and then click it softly. It goes to drift and goes to special.
Yep.
And so, cool. Yeah, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of turn on a local radio station here and just kind of give a quick sample.
And we'll let you get louder.
Yeah, so I can just tell sitting in the car, it doesn't sound, and I've messed around with the equalizer quite a bit. Used to do a lot with sound myself when I was in my teens, and it's definitely got like kind of a thicker bass, and you don't have that tinny sound. I think the problem is that the bass in the back of this car is kind of pretty limited. The subwoofer that's in the back of this thing, so I'm sure it's limited to what you can actually do.
And you can actually, if you wanted to help with this as well, as a really cheap little thing you can do is just go to Walmart and buy some of the polyfill and then take the subwoofer out of the actual enclosure and shove some polyfill into the subwoofer and put the subwoofer back in. That will make the subwoofer think it's in a little bit larger enclosure than it actually is.
Yeah.
It's an old trick that sound guys used to do when we only had like so much space to build a box and we could only make a box a certain size.
Yeah. But
we had to still give it that cubic, you know, volume. We would shove some of that in there to kind of fake that volume. Obviously, it's not the exact thing you can do. It'll just help tighten up the bass a little bit and help it get a little bit louder with the factory hardened cardan sub. But in reality, if you wanted to upgrade it a little bit more, you could go for the Fender sub, which I do have a swap harness for that as well.
Cool. All right, so we're going to power this off now, and then what we're going to do is close the hood, and I'm going to leave the key in for now. It's probably going to beep at me. Close the hood, and then I'm going to get the key out of it, and we're going to walk away and see if it.
There are some settings in the menu for lock and leaving as well.
Okay. I need to toggle those or no?
You might have to, but usually not. The one setting is the lock vehicle when leaving under the central electrics, under the vehicle setting, vehicle tab, exterior, and then central locking.
Okay, let me walk through that and see if it's there. Give me a second. So under vehicle settings.
Yep.
And
the vehicle tab, and then swipe over to central locking.
Oops. You want me to go to the vehicle tab?
Yep.
Okay.
Vehicle.
All right. So in the vehicle tab, I got vehicle status and data.
Okay. Then click the vehicle tab on the left side.
Okay. And now I've got like exterior lights, tires, headlights, and you want me to scroll?
Yep. Scroll over
So I get past brakes, central locking.
Central lock. Yep, go in there.
Got it. Okay. Lock when leaving.
And that. Yep. So
Okay.
lock vehicle when leaving. Basically, make sure that's toggled on, and then you should also notice a response distance, and that is where it detects the key, how far of a response distance you want. You can set it to close, medium, or far.
Okay, let's give it a whirl. So now, I'm gonna walk away and kind of see how far it goes. And it did lock, and there goes my mirrors, which is cool. So all of that seems to be working. So I'm pretty happy. At this point, I think I'm ready to rock. Just want to say thanks to Anthony at ACM Technics and helping us out get this done. And we'll put the links down in the video so that you guys can contact these guys. And they've got a bunch of different stuff they do. You may have heard them talking about matrix headlights. They've got a matrix headlight kit that you can buy, and they'll give you full matrix headlight. Yeah. Yep. So Anthony, I want to say thanks for your time, especially on a Saturday. Appreciate you taking the time on a Saturday to help us out. And
also, quick thing, I do warranty all the coding work, so if you do happen to take the car to the dealer or something like that, and you notice that stuff did get wiped, isn't working or something like that, I just schedule an appointment with me again, and I will get it put back on, either myself or Ryan, whoever is doing it that day. And if you have any issues, please, contact me right away, and I'll get everything figured out too. So
sweet. All right, man. Well, thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. It's good meeting you, and I appreciate that. You have a good weekend.
You too.
All right, take it easy. Okay, so after wrapping up with ACM, there's a couple things that I would do. First of all, I would go in and I would actually remove this app, because obviously you don't want to leave this open and have people have access to it. So the way to do that on a Mac is just go down here, right click on this, quit it, and then you would go into your applications folder here, look for FlexiHub, right click and delete this, move it to the trash. And what that's going to do is that's going to eliminate any remote access that they may have had as part of that session. You can see the app goes away. So that's a really important cleanup step, because otherwise you're walking around with your laptop having complete remote access, at least to those guys. And not that we don't trust anybody, but you don't want to have your laptop be open to the world like that. The other thing I would say is it's really important to, at this point, back up all of your control modules and back up what's been done. So what we're going to do is, again, with OBD11, this tool is not just a coding tool. It also is a tool that you can use for backing up your vehicle and also clearing, any kind of codes that might happen. So if you got any error codes, you can go in and you can clear those codes. So we're going to turn on the accessories, plug in the ODP2 port, and we'll hit connect. And again, it's going to go through and start reading the control units. And once it's done reading the control units, you'll have the option to scan the vehicle. You do not need to scan the vehicle in order to do a backup. But if you were to click scan, that's where you would start to see any kind of error codes that you might have, etc., and you'd be able to clear those error codes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the vehicle, and we're going to go and we're going to click on backup. And we're going to add all the live data, all the advanced identification, etc. And we're going to hit back up. And it's going to take a while, so I'm not going to watch this, but it's going to go through and it's going to back up every single control module on the car so that you have a way to kind of bring it back, if you need to, from the state that it was in prior to somebody else making changes down the road. So this is just a good practice. Anytime you're going to do any kind of coding to your car, I did do a backup before we started this, and then once you're done, you should do a backup afterwards. So we'll let that finish. But that's it. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the information that you got out of this. There's a whole bunch of forums out there on VW Vortex where you can talk to people who have done long coding, and there's a whole bunch of different ways to do that in OBD11. This is really just sort of more of an introduction into some very basic things that you can do with OBD11 plus the apps, and then what it's going to look like if you engage ACM Technik to do any of the work that they do. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, hit subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.